Hello and welcome to the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam,
I'm Matt.
and today we're going to be reviewing.
Doctor Who.
Hmm?
Doctor.
Lol. Right. Knock knock.
Oh no, I'm not playing. You got
Right.
me once.
Right. So this is episode 2 called Smile. Now, going into this episode, I thought from the trailers and stuff like that, I was thinking this is kind of going to be a batty episode.
Mm.
So like it opened up, and then you've got like the whole bumming around this like really nice place. The two women, and it's like, oh, your mum died, and the other one starts to melt, and she's like, nah, smile, and she gets zapped, and then the other one gets zapped, and I was thinking, rah, this is kind of like. Uh, let's say dark. I know it's not like graphic or anything like that, but kind of shredded and turned into skeleton, well, bones really. I was thinking, oh, that's kind of dark, and then really, like, I was thinking, okay, maybe they're gonna jack this up a bit. Maybe this will be interesting, but really, it was really. It looked like it was going somewhere for the first, like, say, half hour. I'm trying to. I swear the episode's like
Hmm.
40 minutes long, so they were kind of blah 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 in for an hour. They've realised what's popping. They're gonna destroy the place, and then they realise like last second, oh wait a minute, like we can't destroy the place because it turns out there's a bunch of people here that we weren't aware of, and then the last 10 minutes like stuff happened. So like I like the kind of, I think theology is the wrong word, but there was a lot of heavy discussion going on for the kind of duration of the episode, and really, like, if you think about it, nothing happened till the last 10 minutes, you know what I mean? Then all of a sudden everything's popping off in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I've got to say, I didn't love it, but I was kind of intrigued to the first, like you said, like 25 minutes, half an hour or so, and then it kind of drags a bit when he was going to destroy the city, and then what's the name? Poe Mackie. What's the character?
Bill.
Bill. Right. Bill finds that woman, like comatose, and then suddenly it's like it became a different episode. Now we got humans popping up with guns and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, like you could have done that. It's like two separate episodes have been thrown together from the end.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's kind of interesting. They were just like a picture it in the writer's thing. Right, we got this, and then it's like, oh well, where does it go? Oh no, let's make it so it turns out there are actually people there, and then a ton of stuff happened. You got the humans kind of grabbing their guns, running in there and blasting like the nanites and stuff like that to no avail. So I thought it was interesting because I think like it's kind of really annoying for me because I in my head I'm waiting for the master, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people were. And at one moment I was thinking, because the Doctor Who said, well, the Doctor said, that was real amateur. Doctor Who said, well, he said something about, oh yeah, I've seen like ships on the way to here before. You know what I mean? I've intercepted them or whatever. And I was thinking, is he hinting this is meant to be like utopia?
I don't think so. I mean,
Yeah, that's what, because I thought about it and I was thinking about the timeline, but for some reason, like when he was going on that tangent, I was thinking, is he trying to reference this is supposed to be like utopia or something? This is where they all kind of go at the end of the universe, and then I thought, well, this has got to be part of the universe. So I'm thinking, then I was thinking, right, is that episode referencing the end of Earth or literally like the end of the universe? Because if it is, then they can't like hop on the ship and go there. But then I was thinking, I swear they were hopping on the ship and going there anyway. So now I'm kind of confused whether that's meant to be like Utopia, where like Professor Yana and his lot were meant to be flying to. But I guess it
I
kind
don't
of.
think so. I mean, part of the confusion with Doctor Who is like we've heard about the end of Earth so many different times, and it's always been different. There's always these like the last remnants of humanity running around somewhere, and they're always different. It's always a different. There's a ship floating around in space. There's Great Britain, or whatever it is. There's Utopia there's that Eccleston episode where the world blows up, but humans have gone elsewhere. You know what I mean? So you never know like what time it is and what it even means. I suppose it doesn't really matter in the end.
Yeah, and like they were like milling about the place, and when like Bill was in that like it was kind of like a room, but there was loads of like trinkets about. You know what I mean? It looked different to everywhere else, and I saw like a I mean, I was going crazy for the master references, but like, there's really like trinkets and random stuff in that room, and it kind of looks like an old like office and stuff like that. And there was a post box, do you know, like the red post box you whack the letters in, and so there was one of them in there, and I was thinking, oh, is the master gonna pop up or something? Then that little kid popped up. I know my feelers are like on 100%, but I was like, are they like really, really like subtly dropping hints and stuff like that? Because that's literally what my mind's kind of flicked to now, and odds are it'll turn out they probably are.
No, because I don't know. See, the problem is that the news was leaked, wasn't it? I don't, you know, we can only guess, but I would assume, maybe incorrectly, that the master wouldn't have been in the trailer for what's coming up in the rest of the series had the news not been leaked. And if it hadn't, would we really be looking for all these references? You know what I mean? Are we looking for something that's never really meant to be there?
Well, apparently they've dropped subtle hints like in past seasons as well, leading up to this point now. They've dropped really subtle hints and stuff like that. So I guess I'm like switched up 100%. But like this episode again, I mean, moving away from the speculation, but this episode again paints like the humans being bumbling idiots. I mean, they're out of their test tubes for 5 minutes, and they're like dashing to the armory, grabbing their guns and coming out, and it's like, yo, there's no point, don't do it or whatever, I've warned you. And then it's like, out the way, Doctor Who. And then they start like blasting, then they get zapped, and it's like, oh, come on, man, yeah, we're stupid, but stop doing it every other episode. We know we're dumb.
Yeah, that, but also part of my thing was like, they did kind of have a point at the end of Ralph Little's running around. He's like, they have killed us. Like the Doctor did seem to just want to smooth it all over rather quickly. Like, I'd be angry as well.
Yeah,
I'm not going to want to stay with these people after they wiped out my family.
Well, they're little robots, aren't they? So they're not really people.
But the whole point that the Doctor's making is that they're alive, though. They're a sentient race or something.
Yeah.
If that's so, I don't want to hang out with a bunch of murderers.
But they ain't got anywhere else to go. Because, I mean, yeah, it was kind of... It's interesting they did that, but really they're kind of screwed. And again, it's like when he reflipped them and whatever. It's like, yeah, we reflipped them and like resetted everything. But I was like, I'm pretty sure that guy was still like zapped. So I don't know why he's still alive. I don't know how like constituting him turning the robots off and on again turn the guy from a skeleton back to like human again. So yeah, it's interesting as well, because it's like, yo, bear in mind that it's pretty much like, look at it from a Skynet kind of point of view. So like the humans created these robots to build this place, like sent them off to build this place, and then like when things got bad they're gonna go there, and then it turned out they become sentient and got their own kind of ideas and stuff like that. Now it's like, oh, it's like you have to share. It's like their place, not the humans. They're just like the guests now. And then like at the end they had the kind of discuss rent, and then its eyes flickered up money. And it made this stupid kind of doofy noise. So yeah, really from a critical point of view, I get the kind of theology and stuff like that and the kind of ideas behind it, but really it was like, it was a random one that absolutely technically like it went somewhere, and then like something else happened, and as a result everything that happened before that point is irrelevant. Then like something else happened, that's irrelevant. Then it turns out that like when they finally get to the thing of, right, we're going to destroy this place, there's people there, then the people wake up, then everything else up to that point's irrelevant. And then like the last 5 minutes, like literally this episode could have literally been, they get there, the people attack them, then they realise people are there. It literally could have been a 10-minute episode. They just threw the and an hour in and walking about random stuff in there to stretch it out for like another half hour. But I guess it wasn't a bad episode. It was kind of just like the kind of twist episode, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like the second episode they do for most of the companions, where they leave, they go on their little. They probably normally they go to the future, they mill around a little, and they get to know the Doctor a bit more. Like Rose did that in did that episode like earlier where they go to the end of the world, and I think Martha went to the past, and Donna went to Pompeii. It was a lot like the Amy episode where they went to future Britain that was in space or whatever. So
On the
it
back of
was,
a whale.
yeah, it's just about getting them spending time together, getting to know each other, getting easier. I suppose that's why Matt Lucas was kind of shoved out right at the beginning.
Yeah, I was kind of. I'm glad you got onto him because I don't know how I feel about him like mugging off Bill, because he kind of mugged her off, didn't he? And he
Mm-hmm.
was kind of being a bit prissy, and I was thinking, I like him kind of like doofy, in his other appearances. I don't want him like making jibes and digs every couple of seconds. He's meant to be kind of jolly, you know what I mean? You got the Doctor being flipping kind of like, pessimistic and all that. Like, you don't need Matt Lucas doing it as well. He's meant to be like funny, keep him funny. So I don't know how I felt about that.
They'll probably bond at some point, because we saw at the end of this episode they're in whatever random place they're at now. So I doubt he's going to be in that either. I wonder how it's going to work with him.
Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued what the whole thing is as well, because it's like you're not supposed to be going like off world, and it's like, well, what does off world mean? Where are they? Are they on Earth or whatever? And they're like not supposed to go other places. In that case, why aren't they? And does it have something to do with this vault thing? Are they waiting for it to open? And as such, like, don't move because you don't want to miss it. Whatever's in this Gallifreyan vault. I
Yeah,
think
because
subtly they're hinting at that.
he definitely. I think that's the point. He definitely left Earth, didn't he, in this episode? And I guess he's come back now, and maybe has his leaving messed with time or something. I don't know. I mean, they're in the past, right? I think that's where they were. So I don't know how that's going to work. It's it's not the first time he's been forced to stay on Earth, is it? I think the third Doctor had to stay on Earth for a long time for whatever reason, as punishment. So uh, I
Good
do. I
point.
don't want to. I don't want to have to sit through the entire season waiting for the reveal though of what's in the vault.
No, that's what I mean. I'm watching it expecting, like, do you know, like, I guess last season or the season before, with like at the end of pretty much every episode they kind of had like a missy bit and stuff like that, or they threw
Mhm.
like a missy bit in there. I guess I'm kind of waiting for that kind of stuff, and I guess in that sense they're doing it with the vault, because I think they're really really subtle about it this episode, and I think the point of him staying where it's supposed to be is something to do with the vault. So whatever happens when that opens, who knows? Or if it's been opened already. You know what I mean? I'm still confused whether it's been opened before, and it's just a matter of we're not allowed to see what's inside.
Yeah, because he said. I think he said in the episode something happened a long time ago, and so I made a vow, blah blah blah, to stay. So uh, presumably something he went to the past in between seasons, and
Hmm.
something happened, and that's why he has to stay there. But we'll see. As
Yeah.
far as this episode goes, it was okay. Well, it wasn't great, but I don't think it was the disaster a lot of people thought it might be.
No, I thought, because I went in there with trepidation, but I guess it was an engaging episode. But like they'd switch things up like every
Mm.
like 10 minutes or whatever up to the end point. Let's talk numbers.
I'm gonna go 6.5. It was okay. It was just a bit choppy. I think the waiting to reveal the humans at the end for me was a bit of a mistake. If you're going to do that, do it 20 minutes earlier.
Mm. I see in my head. I'm thinking 7. It was
Uh-huh.
just a kind of, yeah. I didn't hate it, so like I guess I thought it was okay. Whether the whole twist thing or whatever and that stuff is meant to be like, oh, that's so clever. It was just like, yeah, I thought nothing of it. You know what I mean? It's just one of
Mm.
them. It wasn't like the worst one of them episodes ever. So I'll give it a 7. So that is our review of the second episode of season 10 of New Who, as it were, because really, I mean, it's season
New
probably.
Who.
Yeah,
Can we call it that anymore?
well, To be honest, if we say Doctor Who, it's not really season 10, is it? Or series 10, it's probably season like 50 or season 40 or something like that. So yeah, that's why I referenced the new Who thing. I'm Sam,
On that.
and this has been the Superhero Hub.